It's your girl, Lady J. Say,
Car talk, car talk, car talks with me, car talks with me, car talk, car talk, car talks with me, car talks with me.
affirming an all-inclusive podcast where all topics matter.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your girl, Lady G, and I am here back with another episode of Car Talks. I hope you all enjoyed the very first episode that premiered last Tuesday, September 3rd, and it was just basically an introductory of what this, podcast will entail. And when I say hashtag all topics matter, I promise you, I really mean that, because on this podcast, you're going to get a dosage of me every episode. Sometimes it's going to make you cry. It's going to be raw. Sometimes it's going to be heartbreaking. Sometimes it's going to be unveiling or unwrapping some trauma or some heavy layers of not just myself, but different ones that I may have on the episodes with me. So I'm going to definitely have some people that I'm going to be having conversations with on the podcast as well. So, no topic is off the table. Like I'm open to talking about any and everything, because I am learning to appreciate all of the different sectors of who I am, all of the different characteristic traits that make up Lady G. I am appreciating who I am, not just to other people, but to myself as well. So this is me actually learning myself and relearning myself. So again, like I mentioned, I'm Lady G, and my pronouns are she, her. And an interesting fact about me, I'm actually, believe it or not, I know some of y'all not gonna believe this, but I am actually camera shy. I do not like being in front of the camera. I do not like being in the spotlight, limelight, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it is. I don't. And I've heard before, like, when it's easy for you to be able to have a conversation with, your friends, your people, or whatever. But as soon as this mic get in front of me and I put these headphones on to record an episode, I'm kind of like, ooh, okay. And then it's just me. It's just me in here recording, if my kids are in the next room or whatever, but it's just me. And I'm sitting here, trying my best to talk myself up to just have a conversation, because it's literally having a podcast by yourself is just like having a conversation with yourself, but it's for other people to hear you. So I mean, typically, just to get past those awkward moments, or just to get past those, weird, embarrassing moments that you feel are embarrassing when it's really a good take. I've had a lot of clients that would do something really, really well in front of the camera, and then they'd be like, no, I don't like it. I'm like, that was dope. What you mean? That was the best take you did. The most awkward feeling while shooting or filming something, or in a photography session or a shoot, may be the best take you ever did, which is crazy, because that's typically how it ends up. So yeah, I'm people that know me know that I'm a cinematographer, but I'm typically behind the scenes. But I've never gotten to the point where I had to be in front of the camera yet. And if I have not released it. It's still in the archive somewhere, because I have not had the guts to just release it, because it's different for me to be in front of the camera versus behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have realized and recognized that I will put my all into a project that is, someone else's. I will put my all. I'll know, like, when it comes to social media content, or when it comes to filming and things like that, even podcasting. I've worked behind the scenes of podcasts before, and now, like, it's time for me to have my own, and I'm kind of like, where do I go? What do I do? Who should I interview? And it's crazy, because the difference is I put my blood, sweat, and tears into a project of someone else's. I'll help them build that mug. I'll help them shape, cultivate, mold that project to fit and look exactly how they want it to. And I have so much pride in that project, and so much pride in working with them on that project, that now it's my turn again, like I said, and it's just kind of like I'm lost out here by myself, because I need, and I said this earlier this week on the phone, I need a Lady G. I need somebody that's going to be on my butt. I need somebody that's going to support me. That's going to be like, I feel you. I got you. That's why I've had the idea to do a podcast for so long, but it just didn't happen because of the support. And I'm learning now that I need to learn to put all of that love, effort, and support that I've put into other people, I need to put it into myself. And that's what I'm learning to do now. I'm putting it into myself, and I am being obedient to what I know I'm supposed to be doing with my talents, my gifts that I was given. So that's an interesting fact about me. I don't know how interesting it is, but y'all got some interesting facts about yourselves. Even if you're camera shy, are you more confident behind the camera, even if you're not a photographer? But this can go to my cinematographers, my digital creators. Are you more confident behind the camera than you are in front, or are you more confident in front of the camera than you are behind? Comment below and let me know what y'all think, or if I'm crazy, or if I'm the only one, because I know good and well that behind the camera, I know I'm a beast behind the camera with certain things, but in front I'm kind of like awkward. I'm kind of, I'm always, because I play too much. I know I do. I play too much and I'm kind of awkward or whatever. But let me know what y'all think, man. So my question for this episode, the QOE for this episode will be, what is your role? Like, what is your role, period? Well, question mark, really, but period. That's the question. What's your role? Like, when other people think about your purpose in their life, like, how would they describe you? Like, even if we add in, like, including intersectionality, with that being a thing, think of every trait that you have, or everything that makes up you, and categorize it. Now, once you do that, does your role change in every category? So, like, as a sibling, are you the same person as a sibling that you are as a friend? Or are you the same person as a parent that you are as a child to your parents? Or, like, tell me, what is your role? When other people think about you, what's your role in their lives? Like, what role do you play? I know, like, with me, I have a few different roles, I think. And I think I'm gonna allow, different ones. I may ask that question to every person that I include, every person that's close to me that I include on this podcast. I might ask them that, like, what is my role in your life? Like, even if y'all have to do that this week, like, go around asking people, what's my role in your life? Like, who do you see me as to you? Like, what do you think my purpose is in your life? How is having me as someone in your life beneficial to you? How is it? Because sometimes, number one, I can honestly say that definitely is something that could be a filler for you. In other words, if you are the type of person that is always pouring out to other people, that is always, like I was just saying earlier before, like, I'm definitely the type of person that's always supporting other people. I'm always supportive, very supportive, heavily supportive. Mud can say, I want to go to the moon tomorrow. I'm like, yo, check it. Shit, what we got to do to get you up to that fucking moon? Like, what we finna do? What's the word? Like, what we finna do? Who we got to call? Let me see who I know. I'm going to put you in contact with this person. We're going to get you to that moon. Damn it. We're going to get you to that moon. You feel me? That's the type of person that I am. I believe if someone believes hard enough in something that they want to do, if someone believes hard enough that they can achieve that one thing that they know is a goal of theirs, I'm going to support it. And I might be on your ass about, hey, you do such and such today. All right, okay, you got that goal. Hey, you do such and such today. I bet. But I'm always that person. I'm always that type of person. So asking someone or people that are in your daily circle, whether it's your social circle, your work circle, your family circle, whatever it is, ask them, like, what purpose do I serve in your life? Like, why is it beneficial to you to have me as someone in your life? And some people may say, well, that's pride. Nah, baby, that ain't pride. Tell me, like, what purpose do I serve? Because if I don't know and I'm just here taking up space, then I can remove myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can definitely move around. So one thing about me I know is that I am the type of person that I'll let people vent to me. I'm somewhat of an outlet to different ones. And one thing that I'll definitely ask before they vent is, okay, so do you want me to listen, or do you want me to, to respond? Which one? And if they say listen, I'm gonna mute my phone and I'm gonna listen. Because I'm the type of person too, I like to have ad libs. I'm be like, oh nah. What? Hell no. Nah, you tripping. Yeah, okay, all right, G. That's me. I got ad libs, and I'm checking in and I'm listening to see, what it is you want me to listen to. And then if you say, okay, no, I want some advice, I'm gonna be like, all right, check this. You was straight up wrong. You was wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that type of person. You was wrong for that. Or I'll be like, yeah, nah, they know they wrong. That's some bullshit. They know they wrong. That's the type of person I am. You know what I'm saying? So that is one thing about me. Another thing about me is that I'm definitely the comedic relief in a lot of situations. Now, I know in my family that I'm definitely like a comedic relief. I am. I make people laugh, in hard times and good times and awkward times and weird times. And sometimes it's just that one person that says what everybody else is thinking that becomes funny. That's me. That's me. I know that's me and my family. Like, I'm definitely a comedian, quote unquote. I remember when my cousin recently passed away, and I saw another cousin of mine when I was actually, out in the area just checking on family and friends, whatever. And I saw another cousin of mine, and it was literally the day of. And that day, like, we were still making jokes, trying to make sure that, we're still, of course, feeling and in the heat of the moment, but we're definitely still keeping our spirits lifted. Because that was the type of person that my cousin was anyway. Like, he was someone that was gonna make you laugh. And then every time he laughed, you was gonna laugh, because that man's laugh was contagious like a mug. It was the funniest laugh ever. Like, you knew if you heard him laugh from a distance, you're definitely not, oh yeah, okay, that's Josh. That's that's Josh over there. But that's me though. Like, that's me. I am, somewhat of, I ain't gonna say somewhat, but I am the comedic relief. And then not just my mom and dad and my siblings, but my kids are hilarious. My uncles and aunts and all of them, like the Carr family, they are a hoot. Not gonna lie. They are a hoot. Carr, Smith, Moore. I think I'm forgetting some. But yeah, Thompsons, Jones, them too. Them mugs is a trip. So that's a little bit about me, my background anyway. I just named some of my family that I'm related to. So if you know any of those people, they're not my family. No, I'm just playing. That's my people. So yeah, but the comedic relief. I'm also the friend, and this is where sometimes I fuck up just a little bit sometimes. But I'm also the friend that tries the hardest to come through for other people. I try my best. Like, if I got it, then I'm going to give it. If I got it and it's enough to give, I'm definitely going to share that mug. I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it. I'm not going to look for nothing in return, but I'm going to give it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I have something? Why would I be blessed with something, have a multitude of it, have this great amount of it, and I see another friend that's struggling to get it, and I got enough to share? That's me. But I do that with different ones, and I'm learning to still. I do that with different ones that I know are not going to just take and run, but they're going to take and replenish. And I don't mean pay me back, but I mean that our friendship is more than just give and take. You know what I'm saying? Our friendship is solid. Our friendship definitely has some meat to it. You know what I'm saying? Like that, there's trust back and forth. Like, if I give you something and I say, okay, you can have this for a certain amount of days, but you got to give it back. We got to give it back by Saturday. I know good and well that friend gonna give it back by Saturday. And if they don't, they saying, look, that they're communicating. Hey, yo, my bad. I can't do such and such, whatever, but I'll definitely have it for you by Tuesday. That's the type of people that I don't mind giving to. That's the type of people that I don't mind supporting or helping or whatever. Those are the type of people. So, but that's the type of friend that I am. I'm the friend that tries her hardest to come through. And even if I don't have it, you best believe I'm gonna find a way to get it so I can give it to you. That's me. That's who I am. That's what I do. So I try my hardest to make sure that if I'm good, you gonna be good. And then in that, I'm also the type of person that try to put people on. I'm always trying to put everybody on. Always. Like, that might be a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's definitely a lot of pros and cons to that, because I'm always looking to take people with me when I'm going to greater heights. Always looking to see, like, who can go with me, who can rise with me. That's me. I don't care what you did to me, especially if me and you still riding as hard as we riding. I'ma still try my hardest to drop your name in situations or in places that I know are relevant and that helps and serves the purpose that you're serving. That, yeah, I know. That could be a bad thing. That could be. But I'm always dropping names. Always. I remember that I had this argument with this one buddy, this one bro of mine some years ago. I don't remember what it was over. It was really over it was over a misunderstanding, and it was over something goofy. Of course, we look back now and be like, man, that was crazy. But me and him are cool today. You know what I'm saying? But looking back, in most situations, like, I was very, very upset. And when I'm mad at a mug, that person knows. That person knows because I have this thing where I can make sure that I see you, but I don't see you. Like you don't exist. And I'm working on that. Don't I'm working on that. One thing this podcast is definitely gonna do for me is self-reflect. Almost every episode, I'm gonna self-reflect. And I know I am working on that because of course, as an adult, you gotta learn how to coexist with certain people, especially like when you get jobs and stuff like that. You have to learn how to communicate with people that you don't like. You can't go to work and be like, I ain't talking to you because I don't like you. Hey, yo, can you tell him, boss told me to tell him such and such, but can you relay a message? Cause I ain't talking to him right now because I'm mad. We can't take that type of mentality to work. We can't do that. We grown, we adults now. So, as an adult, we put away childish things, you know what I'm saying? So, but I had this one buddy that I was upset with. And, every time I had a conversation with somebody and it reminded me of this person, I dropped that name every time. Every time I'm like, yeah, this person would be such and such with that one. This person would be dope with that. Well, this person is actually doing this right now. You should hit them up. That's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was doing. I was hurt. I was upset. I was all of that. But I'm always trying to find ways and reasons to put people on. I'm still trying to make sure you good. Pros and cons to that. I know. I'm still trying to make sure you good though. But that's just the type of person that I am. That's who I am. And this is where I'm not going to say it's going to start to get dark because it's not going to get dark. But this is where it starts getting real for me because it's a lot of ways that I've developed, especially as an adult. But moving forward are things that I feel like were things that were taught to me about me, if that makes sense. So it's people in your life that can tell you, of course, the good qualities about yourself. And of course, we're going to name and list the good qualities. But there's certain things and that's why I said, ask someone close to you, what purpose do I, like, what role do I play in your life? The type of person that I am. What role do I play? And I know that certain roles are literally given to us unintentionally, though. Unintentionally, whether it's out of trauma, whether it's out of guilt from the other person or the person that's raising you or whatever it is, certain things are given to us. Certain worries, certain concerns, certain personality traits are given to us, whether we want them or not. They're taught to us, unintentionally taught to us, whether we want them or not. I know that I'm the type of person that some people get nervous when I talk. Some people get nervous when I talk, when I get a platform like a podcast, or when I get a platform like standing in front of a multitude of people and somebody says, well, share your story. I remember one time I was asked to share, a testimony of mine or whatever, which this is going to be, in a completely different episode. I'm not even going to get into the meat of this. But back in the day, I was asked multiple times to share testimony of how God delivered me, right? And I would get up there and I would say different things because I'm like, I gotta, and a part of me felt like a testimony was me selling people to believe that, if you believe in this type of thing, then this is gonna happen. That's what I saw a testimony as. So I was making that mug sound good. Making it sound good. You know what I'm saying? So and not only that, I was also still trying to believe it as well. So I was asked to give a testimony and I gave it, and I got done. I'm like, yeah, somebody gonna believe today. Somebody, that's what I'm telling myself, like, yeah, I'm grateful that I was able to get up there and say this and do that or whatever. But then I was told after that, it's certain parts of your story you don't have to share. I was like, what? I was watching so and so's face and they responded like this when you said this and they looked uncomfortable. So it's certain parts of your story you don't have to share. And I'm like, what? How do I get asked to give a testimony and then somebody got an issue with what I shared? Again, that's for a whole nother episode. But I am the type of person that people that know me, well, I'm not even gonna say that. Let me scratch that. Because people that know me know when I speak is for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's never to make somebody uncomfortable. But it's people that don't know me that say they do. They get nervous when I talk. And I know that it stemmed from my childhood as well. Because I believe I was the kid whose parent got nervous whenever they spoke or whenever they said something. I believe that. And I also felt like I was quiet most of my childhood. I didn't really say the things that affected me, offended me, or anything like that. Because number one, there really wasn't the space to do so. And growing up in a religious home, a lot of y'all can attest to this as well, that certain things that just didn't fly with, with the type of religion that we were involved in at the time just didn't fly. So there's a lot of things that weren't said because it didn't need to be said because there was prayer in the midst. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was something that I noticed, that people get nervous when I talk, when I get on a platform, and that also allowed me to realize, like with this podcast, I actually noticed and recognized that I try to be very careful when I'm talking on my podcast, because whenever I speak, I end up quote unquote offending somebody whenever I speak. And the crazy thing is like different people play certain parts or certain roles in your life. And then when they hear the story back and they seem to be the quote unquote villain, or people can note them as the villain, they get offended and they try to shut you up, and they say stuff like, well, you shouldn't say it like that. Maybe you should say it like this. Or maybe you should do that. No, let's say the part or the role that Muggs played. Now, I don't believe or think that it's necessary to quote names. Now, that's just me. You could be different. You could say names if you want to. You could be different. But that's just me. I don't know if it's necessary to say names, but I know that I am choosing to be the person that is able to give the meat of what needs to be given to help save or to help encourage or inspire somebody else. I don't give certain parts of my story to offend or to make other people look bad. And again, that's only for people that know me. That's only for people that know me. And that's the thing. You got to know who knows you. But in cases like that, I've learned that because I was the one that would tend to be quiet sometimes because I was either always told to be quiet, or I guess that was just it. I was told to be quiet a lot. And I noticed this growing up, that as an adult, I didn't really honestly grow up. See, people think that just because you graduated at 18 that you're an adult. Nah, legally, you can be considered as an adult legally. 21, you're not even grown yet. 21, you drink, you're old enough and age appropriate to drink liquor, but that don't make you grown. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, your mentality is what grows you up. Your mentality, and then when your mentality changes, your actions change as well. So I know that at 20, I want to say it was 27, 28, my mentality started to change. It started to change. So before that, 27 and previous years, those years from actually my high school years, like those years all the way up until about 27 years old, I was a people pleaser. And I believe I became a people pleaser because there was certain parts of me that it was hard for me to accept, and I knew that it would not be acceptable elsewhere. So I started becoming yes man. You know what I'm saying? I started to become this doormat. I was easily manipulated and naive and easily persuaded in a lot of ways. And that also taught people how to treat me. That taught people how to treat me. And in that, I became a slave to other people. I feel like I just said a mouthful, but I became a slave to different ones. And then in that case, I would get stuck on why somebody doesn't like me. I was always trying to please a mug and do what it was that they wanted me to do, ignoring what it was that I knew my standards were and what standards I had set for myself. But it was crazy because at 12 and up, I don't really have or know what standards are yet. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know how to set standards. I didn't really know what I would accept and would not accept, which is why I agree that sometimes, well, not sometimes, but I don't think mugs should be dating so young. That's just my opinion. Like, yes, that's me. And if you disagree, you can put it in the comments. Why? Why do you think that it's okay for 12, 13, 14-year-olds to date? Because even at those ages, we're just now becoming or coming into a place where we're realizing and recognizing, okay, I am me. What do I like? Who do I like? What type of person do I like? It's hard because growing up every day, and then as you grow up as an adult, you change daily. We change daily. Like who I am today, on this day right here, who I am, I could be completely different a week from today. I could like something completely different a week from today, which is understandable. But in moments where we're also learning ourselves, it's hard to get to know somebody else at that age when you're still learning yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you like. You don't know what you'll accept. You don't know who you'll be. You don't know what the other person will accept and what they'll be. So let me retract back. Let me go on back. Let me get back. Let me get back on topic. So I realized that I became a slave to different ones because whatever it was that they did not want, I made sure that I did not give it to them. Whatever it was that they did want, even if it wasn't me, I gave it to them. I tried to become that person that they did want. If even if I didn't know if that was me. You know what I'm saying? And in that, it changed how I saw myself as a whole unintentionally. I started to care what other people thought. I had fear of saying the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? It stunted my creativity because I was afraid like, well, this person is, and I didn't know that at that age, or I didn't know that back then. But now doing a lot of self-reflecting, you realize like, oh, this mug just afraid when I talk. This mug scared I might say something that's going to either offend them or offend someone else or expose them or expose somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like that was their fear, not mine. But I took on somebody else's fear. I had a fear of differences. Like I could have or stir up a heated debate or an argument. And I didn't want to do that. I had a fear of arguing with other people. Not saying you should just start arguments with folk. I ain't saying that at all. But I had a fear of having different views and different perspectives than other ones that I care for. I had a fear of that. And in ways I did not know how to show healthy communication skills. I did not know that I would become extremely bothered. And whenever I became extremely bothered, that's when I would blow up. And that's why certain people say, well, you go from 0 to 100 real quick. That's because we are the type of people that hold stuff in, that don't let shit show when it's really bothering us. We got that poker face. We don't let the shit show. We don't let it show. We allow it to stir up or fester up on the inside of us. And then one little straw can break the camel's back. Because we allowed that mug to blow. We allowed it to get to the point where we couldn't hold it no more. So now it looked like I'm cool. It felt like I'm cool. And we might even say, no, yeah, I'm good. We might even say that. But then when that mug blow up and it hit 100, it's like, well, where is coming from? Because I can only communicate with you when I'm upset. Because now it's clear, you see I'm mad. So let me tell you why I'm mad. And while I'm telling you why I'm mad, let me go back to that one time you made me mad first. And then after that, you did this. And then after that, you did this. Like that was the type of communication skills and style that I had. And it was not healthy. It wasn't healthy, but I didn't know how to communicate because I can honestly say that I wasn't really given the platform or the opportunity to express. And anybody that is a millennial that was raised from the generation before us, because of the type of parenting style that they experienced when they were growing up, it kind of trickled over into their parenting style, which trickled over to us. And now I'm in a place where I'm like, I'm breaking that generational curse, man. I'm gonna let my kids express, but they're gonna learn how to express properly, in a healthy way. You're going to learn how to express in a healthy way. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with allowing yourself to recognize what you feel, but you have to learn how to be emotionally intelligent. You have to learn how to be emotionally mature. There are certain things, and I tell my kids, there are certain things to cry about. But something that you can fix right away, no. Like whatever it is, shake it off. Let's fix it. Let's see where we went wrong. Let's fix that. Let's fix it. You know what I'm saying? But it's in a lot of cases, there were situations where I was not really able to express. So I did not have healthy communication styles. You know what I'm saying? Or keep it to where I can communicate, yeah, nah, I ain't like that. Now ask me now, I'm gonna let you know. Yeah, nah, I ain't a fan of that. Nah, I don't like that. Yeah, nah, don't say that. That's me. Now, I ain't always picking apart what people say. Certain things don't always require a response. You know what I'm saying? Some people just gonna pick because they can. But in moments where I feel like the foundation is stable, is set, and is secure, then I'll say, hey, when you said such and such, when you did this, I'm not a fan of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind speaking up. But that 0 to 100 shit, that stuff is real, man. And it's not that, that person has an anger problem. It's that that person probably didn't have the proper foundation to where it was safe enough for them to express when something bothered them. Think about it. When something bothered them. And then and in that's you neglecting your emotions and neglecting your standards. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've tried for so long to prove that I was not that difficult individual that selective people would say or assume that I was. I tried for so long to prove that. For so long, until I realized that I'm taking on other people's fears. I'm taking on other people's hurt. I'm taking on other people's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, no longer will I accept or receive that responsibility of your fear, of your fear of being exposed, of your fear of being hurt or offended, of your fear of me becoming a certain type of way that you don't want me to become, of your fear of me becoming like you, of your fear of me even mimicking. And this doesn't even have to be just about family, relatives, or whatever. But I saw when I was watching a clip on a short reel, someone said, regardless of who we say we are, we attract people of who we really are. Who we really are. Again, like I said in the beginning, we can say all these dope ass traits and qualities about ourselves, but who are you really? What roles do you really play? We attract certain people that feed off of who we really are. And it's crazy that there's a piece of me, that piece of me that is either like feeling neglected. I may attract someone that has abandonment issues because that's just how we were created. That's how we were created. So in all of those things that I said, man, I've come to a point where I've realized I have to relearn myself. And in relearning myself, I have to teach people how to treat me. I have to teach people how to treat me, because in those spaces when I was young and immature, and not even just young and immature, but my mentality was different. I was in this bind to where I felt like certain things couldn't be said because God would be disappointed. Certain things I couldn't do because God would be disappointed. I was going to die and go to hell. I had a lot of fear. And in that fear, I ended up including and adding on other people's fear. Yeah, that's where I fucked up. That's where I messed up, because I started living my life in fear and didn't even know it. I thought I was living like a mug. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't tell me I was happy. I was happy. I thought that's what I wanted. But eventually, if you continue to be or live how someone else wants you to be and live, eventually you're going to bust out that box. You're going to bust out that box, and you're going to have to deconstruct and try to figure out and realize I'm not living for me. So what is it that I want? So in that, I had to relearn myself. I had to, number one, set clear boundaries and limits. Let a mug know, yeah, I ain't fucking with that. Nah, I ain't with that. Nah, I'm not doing that. Stop letting people persuade you. Stop letting people manipulate you. Know who you are. Stand firm on it. I had to, number two, be intentional. Be intentional with everything I said, everything I do. Make sure that everything that I do moving forward has a purpose behind it. One thing I've always said is that I don't want to be a vessel on this earth that's just taking up space. I want to fulfill my purpose. I don't want to leave here and I have only been in one part of the world my entire life. Nah, I want to reach people. I want to reach people. That's what Lady G is here for. Lady Great, Lady Gold. That's what I'm here for. I want to be intentional with everything I do. I want to communicate my boundaries with people. I want to be honest with myself first. Be honest with myself. And certain things, like in certain conversations, I'm the type of person that I can have a conversation with somebody. I can have a conversation with somebody and don't realize that they offended me until later. I come back and be like, hey, yeah. So remember when we was talking about this and that, whatever. So yeah, when you said that and whatever, I don't really fuck with that. I don't really like that. I'm not a fan of that at all. You said that, it don't hit me till I always have to, like, literally think about the conversation, let it digest, and then here I come a day later and I'm thinking about that mother for like a week, until I'll either wait for the conversation or something similar to come up again, or I'll try to wait for a safe opportunity to bring it up. Now, I ain't perfect at it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna act like I am. I ain't perfect at it. But I definitely am that type of person where I'll come back. And if I bring it up, I'm not trying to bring up old shit. It's just that I ain't know you offended me when you did. So now I had to come back and fix that mug real quick. That's it. That's all. That's what I'm doing. So I'm communicating those boundaries and being honest with myself. Mean what you say, man. Mean what you say. Be firm. And again, don't allow people to change your mind. Mean what you say. No is a complete sentence. You want to do such and such or whatever? Nah, I'm good. Why not? It's just, I said no. Why I gotta have a reason? Why I gotta explain to you why I don't want to do something? I said no. No, period. You want me to spell it? If so, N-O, it's a no. Period. You feel me? And then also, don't settle. Don't get too comfortable to where you get back into your old ways, because it's easier to do that because you feel like, man, I'm that one that's stirring up trouble again. I'm that complicated individual. I'm that complicated employee. I'm that complicated sister. I'm that complicated sibling. I'm that complicated relative. I'm that complicated child. Somebody told me that I was my parents' worst child. Somebody that told me that. I was my parents' worst child. And I lived with that for the majority of my life so far. I've lived with it until I just recently threw it away. And somebody said, well, you bring it up on the podcast. That'll mean I'm bringing it up as an example. Thank you. I threw it away though. I used to live that way. And I used to be so timid, so afraid to do anything outside of what I thought my family would do because I didn't want that to be my label. I didn't want to be the black sheep. I didn't want to be. But I had to live with that. So I was being careful, but don't settle. Don't get too comfortable to where you feel like you stirring up too much commotion. Okay, let me go on back to being, because it's easy to get back into them ways. No, be firm. Be firm. Don't settle. And lastly, your integrity is not for sale. It's not for sale. You're not giving it away. You're not going to allow someone to act as if they can stomp all over it, as if you're still that same doormat that you felt that you were or became. It's not for sale. You know your worth. You know who you are. And if you don't, you're learning who you are. People don't have to know you don't know who you are. They don't have to know that. That can be a secret between you, yourself, and God. You, yourself, and whoever it is that you believe in. You, yourself, and your soul. You, yourself, and your inner man. You, yourself, and your heart. Leave that to be for you. Keep some shit private. Everything ain't got to go out in the open. Work in private, man. That's when you can do the best work on yourself. But always realize your integrity is not for sale. It's not for sale. Man, I promise y'all, man, like it's in doing this self-reflecting is crazy because it's certain parts of myself that I realize I'm exposing that I didn't realize was there, but I'm also in the process of doing the work. Now, you can expose some shit and then just leave it and be like, well, nah, I'm good with that. Hell no. Fix it. Fix it, especially if it's toxic to other people. And if it's toxic to other people, you're toxic. That's just it. I don't ever want to be toxic. I don't want a toxic relationship. I don't want none of that shit. I'm good. You feel me? But moving forward, man, I just definitely want y'all to know the roles you play in other people's lives. How are you helping other people? And if you're not, ask them like, well, what can I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, if this relationship is meaningful to you, if me being in your life is meaningful to you, even if it's just to be a social friend, that's cool too. Because we need those moments where we got a friend that say, yo, what you doing tonight? I got them. That's my bro circle. Yo, what you doing tonight? We hitting outside? That's what we do. That's what we do. So ain't nothing wrong with being a sociable friend. Ain't nothing wrong with being that friend that you vent to. Ain't nothing wrong with being that funny friend. Ain't nothing wrong. But every circle got it. Every circle got that type of friend. So what role do y'all play? What role do y'all play? Now, moving forward, I did say that I would highlight an artist every week, every episode. So this episode, I mentioned this person before, and I definitely wanted to mention his name again because his name will live forever on. My cousin, Joshua Carr, the man was talented. The man was definitely starting to get in the groove of exposing his gift, his vocals. The man could sing, and every time he sang is like refreshing, man. Every time he sang, I got goosebumps. I felt it was like it's soulful and it was so good. And if you have not heard his song Fairy Tale, type it in. I'm gonna put it in the description of this podcast. But Joshua Carr, I love you. I miss you. He was somebody that I would go to if I created a new song. I went to him and let him hear it. But I love you, cousin, and I miss you with all my heart. And I'm doing this for you. Everything I do moving forward, I would do for you because I know before this podcast would have came out and I had the idea, I was definitely gonna tell him about it. And he was gonna be like, hey, cuz, let me hop on that shit. Like that was him. That was him. But one thing he always said before we left each other, he would always say, love you, cuz. So I definitely want to put that out there to all my family out there as well. I love y'all. Hit me up, if y'all in the comments, man, if y'all got some ideas or some things y'all want me to touch on or talk about or whatever. And I ain't no therapist, I ain't no life coach or nothing like that. I'm just a regular person who's looking to have necessary conversations to stir up and to start necessary conversations and bring certain things to the light. Because certain things can go without being said, and that's not necessary sometimes. Most times it is. Sometimes it is. But all the time it ain't. So definitely appreciate everybody that listen in. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for a weekly dose of Lady G. Again, new episodes drop every Tuesday. So definitely get tuned in. You feel me? Be smart, be creative, and remember, all topics matter. God loves you, and I love you. Peace out.
Say.
Car Talk, Car Talk, Car Talks with Meg, Car Talks with Meg, Car Talk, Car Talk, Car Talks with Meg, Car Talks with Meg.